Strong winds from a hurricane in the area, which whipped up fires already burning after a spell of particularly hot and dry weather, which some experts say is linked to climate change. The satellite image on the left of the town of Lahaina was taken last month. The one on the right, yesterday.
Dozens are dead and entire neighborhoods are absolutely wiped out in Maui following a catastrophic and unprecedented wildfire, several of them actually, that continue to burn. The fires are not anywhere near contained at the moment, and the conditions on the island were such that this hurricane and the high gusts have exacerbated the situation. We'll talk a little more about the cause in just a moment, but it was in fact fueled by the dry summer and the strong winds from a passing hurricane. The blaze started on Tuesday of this week and took the island by surprise. In fact, Maui County said late Wednesday that 36 people had already died as a result, making it the deadliest US wildfire since 2018, when the Camp Fire in California killed 85 people. Now by Wednesday, about 271 structures had either been completely destroyed or severely damaged, and the flames left some people just minutes to act. In fact, some individuals had to run into the ocean and then later get saved as a result of that. They had nowhere else to go, so that's where they went for safety. The Coast Guard said it rescued 14 people who had jumped into the water to escape the flames and smoke. And officials prepared the Hawaii Convention Center in Honolulu to take in thousands of people who have already been displaced as a result of this fire. A lot more details to get to. I just want to show you this map, which was provided by the New York Times using NASA data, and it gives you a sense of where the wildfires have broken out on the island of Maui. And you can see that, those areas are not contained at the moment, and we're hoping that they will be very soon. But climate change, unfortunately, has made the conditions there so dry in an unprecedented way that it has exacerbated the fire. Oftentimes when we make these links to climate change as a result of these stories involving natural disasters, it's not that climate change started the fire, it's that climate change created the conditions that exacerbated the fire to begin with. So we'll give you more details on that in just a moment, but Cenk, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, so I want to talk about the politics of this too, as to what can be done, what should Biden do in a second. But I want to talk more about how the fires got so out of control. So there's a lot of former plantations in Hawaii, and they've basically let grass grow in that land, and it's become grassland. And normally, like in the old days, indigenous cultures used to start small fires to make sure that they prepared the land so that they wouldn't be out of control fires.
Yeah,
right?
They do controlled burns.
Yeah, controlled burns, thank you. So we don't do that anymore. And then what happened was extreme rain. Now, Hawaii's already very wet, as we all know, right? But now because of climate change, there was even more extreme precipitation. And that meant the grass grew totally out of control. And then afterwards, you had extreme dryness, which is not normal for Hawaii. So then that sets the stage for, unfortunately, perfectly, for a fire, and a significant fire. Then the winds come in that Anna told you about, and boom, it's 100% recipe for disaster. And who cooked? How did that recipe get cooked up? It gets cooked up because of the extreme weather events. There's usually some other factor, like the grasslands in Hawaii, etc., right? And then things always get worse as extreme weather events get out of control, because then once the fire starts, then gas blows, gas tanks blow up, they add to the fire, more wind comes in, etc., etc. So is it climate change is specific for any particular storm or any particular tragedy? Well, it's hard to pinpoint exactly, right? But is it leading to the effects that we're talking about here that is affecting almost all of these extreme weather events? Of course. In fact, the governor said this is a once in a lifetime event. I got bad news for him. It isn't.
And it won't be.
And something like this will happen again and again and again in Hawaii and in other places, because this is what extreme weather looks like. It's exactly what the scientists told us. And so now to the politics of it for a second, Biden should declare a state of emergency.
He did.
No, not in Hawaii. I'm not talking about in Hawaii. That's easy. That's a layup.
I see. Sorry, apologies.
Declare a climate emergency, right? And he says he won't because practically speaking, he's already done it with his policies. No, that's
such a ridiculous thing to say.
There is no practically speaking declaring an emergency. There either is an emergency that you've declared or there isn't. There's no practically speaking. And yes, half of your proposals in climate situation here were good, right? And so that's the one thing that everybody gives you credit for, that went in the Inflation Reduction Act, et cetera. And then the other half were horrible. And then you approved a number of pipelines, drilling in Alaska, Manchin's favorite pipeline, et cetera. And you basically got back to zero. So that practically speaking, doing the equivalent of zero is declaring a climate emergency. And they say absurd things like this because there's almost no press in America. So no one challenges them. Corporate media goes, oh yeah, don't touch oil. It's all good, it's all good. They're not gonna challenge him on this. The right wing's not gonna challenge him, and mainstream media is not gonna challenge him.
I wanna go to some videos, kind of giving you guys some images of what it's like on the scene and the kind of heartbreaking situation that the people of Hawaii are dealing with right now. So this next video shows residents trying to escape, and they're literally like driving through as the blaze surrounds them. I want to give you a warning because as they're driving, they come across a woman laying on the ground. We blurred it out, but I just wanted to give you that warning anyway. But it gives you a sense of just the absolute devastation and fear that people in Hawaii are dealing with right now. Let's watch.
We're almost to the end of the mill. We're almost to the smokestack. We made it. We're gonna line on the road now pretty soon. But we don't. Oh, somebody's down right now. Somebody's down right now. Yeah, somebody's down. Just go, Dad. We cannot do nothing for her. Oh my God. Oh my God, bro. Just go, Dad. Just go. We cannot do nothing for her. What? Just go. Go, people. Go. Beat the horse, Dad. Oh my God, bro. Oh, Dad, beat the horse. Just go. You can't see. Yeah, I know you can't see.
Yeah, it's really heartbreaking to see this. Also, a historic part of Hawaii known as Lahaina has been particularly devastated by these fires. I want to go to that video. It's ABC News reporting. Let's watch.
6 fires erupting on the islands of Maui and Hawaii Tuesday, destroying hundreds of homes and businesses, forcing mass evacuations, at least a dozen people jumping into the ocean to get away in Lahaina.
Lahaina is on fire.
Apocalyptic scenes in that popular tourist town and historic cultural landmark home to 12,000 people. Steve Scott desperately trying to fight back the flames. And you were essentially trapped in the middle of the fire.
Right, I was with a hose, shooting it up, trying to protect our building, and Plantation House, all of that blew up.
Getting separated from his wife.
I'm trying to find my wife. I know she's safe. I think she's safe, but I haven't found her yet.
Yeah, just absolutely devastating. I mean, entire neighborhoods gone. Right? I mean, the last time I checked, there were 271 structures completely destroyed. People's homes, their businesses just completely destroyed as a result of this wildfire. These several wildfires in Maui.
Look, the problem with human beings is manifold. One of them is that we are incredibly arrogant. We think we're the center of the universe and we're so important that nothing could possibly happen to us. That's not remotely true. And the second problem we have is infinite greed. You just cannot stop people's greed.
100%.
If the entire planet could be on fire, but if oil executives think they're gonna make 10 more bucks drilling for oil, they're gonna do it. And if they think they can make 10 more bucks, they're gonna go and bribe a politician, and all the politicians are gonna tell you that practically speaking, they did everything they could, which was zero, and they're gonna cash that check right before the bank burns and the whole earth burns. So this is a story as old as time. Our arrogance and our hubris is literally lighting the planet on fire, and no one in charge seems to care at all. Like, I know people in the climate activist community who thought, well, okay, I mean, these last couple of weeks is just record breaking in literally like fires and temperature and heat, and it was never seen before, right? And now they'll act. No, I told them, there's no chance they'll act. They're not even blinking an eye here. No, Biden is doing nothing. He will do nothing for the rest of his term. If Trump is elected, he'll go in the wrong direction for 4 years. If Biden's elected, he'll probably continue to do nothing for another 4 years. They're never going to move unless you fix the political system. And now bribery is legal and greed is infinite, so the planet will burn, period.
We need to, in the very least and in the short term, assuming that we can develop other sources of renewable energy, immediately switch to nuclear energy.
There's tons of things to do.
There's so many, like, I understand the concern of, just not wanting to give up the way that we're living in modern society, not wanting to give up the comforts of I totally get that. And we don't necessarily need to give up comforts of modern society by switching to other clean sources of fuel. And we can do, not fuel, but like other clean sources of energy, I should say, right? We're not there yet with wind and solar, okay? We need to invest more, and I think that Biden has taken a good first step in that regard. But Germany, for instance, just decommissioned their final nuclear power plant, and they're replacing it with coal, right? And I don't mean to pick on Germany, it's on the top of my mind as I think about nuclear energy. I understand why people wanted to move away from nuclear energy, but at the moment, it is not a good idea considering how it's going to increase our reliance on fossil fuels that are exacerbating the situation with climate change.
Look, I think nuclear is a tough question and one that I hesitated on before. In fact, I never came to a conclusion on it. I interviewed people on both sides of the issue. Both sides are incredibly passionate about their beliefs and are positive that they're 100% right. But now we're in an emergency.
Yeah.
So if I was in charge, I'd say, give me all my emergency options, and nuclear would certainly be on the table as one of those options. And then you see if it makes sense or not. But right now, nobody's acting like it's an emergency. Like Biden's not calling together his cabinet and saying, what do we do about climate change? We got to act right now. No, they're literally, his cabinet is building pipelines as we speak to dig more, to make fossil fuels more abundant and bragging about it. And by the way, Obama bragged. Obama was like, oh, we did more drilling and we got more oil under my watch than any president. And now he's pretending to be concerned, but only barely, right? So this is the Hobbs's choice we always have. Either Democrats who do nothing and brag about it, and then mainstream media comes in and whitewashes it and go, they're amazing, they're epic, they're heroes, etc. Or Republicans who go in the wrong direction. So unless something very, very dramatic happens in our political system, nothing's gonna happen to address climate change, and it's only gonna get worse. So I'm sorry, this is exactly the same warning I gave you many, many years ago about gun control. And I said, there's gonna be a mass shooting in your neighborhood, I guarantee it. And when I said it however many years ago back then, people were like, whoa, Cenk, come on, you're getting out of hand. Well, nope, I was 100% right. Now there's a mass shooting every single day. Why? If you don't stop the bribery, you're gonna have infinite greed, they're gonna buy all of our politicians, and none of these issues will ever get fixed, no matter how terrible they get, because they don't care about you.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR, so those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.